Welcome back to Marbella Now. My name is Nicole King, and this is my boy.
Hey, hey, it's a brand new day. Hey, 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 it's a brand new day. Halfway twisted.
To start off this week's show, I'm introducing our CIT Marbella Guest of the Week. CIT Marbella is a business networking association, and every week we get to meet one of the members of that association, and there are over 500 different companies covering like 80 different professions, and the nice thing is they all support each other. I'm delighted to welcome Jorge to the program from a company called Rosillo, and it sounds like BEL Marbella business because they like buy hotels, is that right, Jorge? Sounds like a lot of fun, buying hotels.
Basically, we do all kind of hotel consultancy. We do valuations, business plans. We look for joint venture partners, but where we really gain money, the truth is buying and selling hotels. And that's why I came to my homeland. I used to work in Madrid for Aguirre Newman. After that, it was Savills for 20 years.
So a lot of experience.
A lot of experience. And after the COVID, I decided and I saw that one can work from wherever he wants, you know. And you can do your work from Marbella if you have an international airport like we have in the Costa del Sol, which is great. And I decided to run my own business. And since then, I'm here.
I am delighted because this is a real entrepreneur move, but to have the experience of such big companies, the cachet, the curriculum that validates you, and then to be in a city like Marbella, that just recently I've seen how many little boutique hotels are springing up, the big chains taking over other groups. So there's a lot of scope here in the Costa del Sol.
Yeah, there is a lot of scope. It's true that we have great hotels, but we still have things to do. That's also the truth, because as we commented before, here the tourism started in the 50s or the end of the 50s. My family used to own a hotel, the Hotel Artola.
Know it well.
Which is one of the oldest in the Costa del Sol. And since then, it has been renovated. We sold it, and now it's going to reopen soon as a new boutique hotel, as you said. What is really neat is that the offer keeps repositioning itself to bring every time better and better clients, and keep the track of other destinations like Cota Sur, Amalfi, or other premium sites.
Do you travel a lot, or are you more based in Marbella now?
I wish I could work more in Marbella. I have done some expert reports for some hoteliers in the area, but my most recent work was done in the Comunidad Valenciana. I was able to sold Marinador.
Wow.
If you know.
I used to know the owner from when I lived in Madrid.
Okay.
A very interesting concept and then story.
Yeah, we bought it in 2023 with a group of hotels of Comunidad Valenciana. And since then, I still have a lot of work to do in Comunidad Valenciana, because it was a very big transactions in 2023.
But it's a beautiful, the Valencia is lovely.
Yeah.
I mean, it has so much, the light is bright like here on the Costa del Sol.
It's great. The only difference...
It's difficult to get there from here.
And from the UK, it's great if you go to Alicante area, which is, as good as Malaga. It's really well communicated. It's the 5th airport of Spain. But Valencia is okay, but this is Castellón, which is the northern part of the Comunidad Valenciana. And it's tough to arrive there.
I know.
For Spaniards and from Brits. And
anyone. I know the one because I have offices there as well, and going from Malaga to Valencia, it's like the best thing is really to drive, but it's a boring drive. There's no services on the way. It's just like a no man's land, really weird. It's like a very underdeveloped segment of land between us.
Yeah, it's true, but also what is true is there is the opportunity. I mean, we live in the beautiful Spain. For a Spaniard, maybe Castellón is northern Spain, more or less, northeast. But for a Brit, for a Swedish, for a Norway, Germans, they love our sun, and the weather is more or less like we have here. So that's the opportunity. They are going to start to bring flights, direct flights to the Castellón airport with EasyJet, with Ryanair, and many other companies, and they really believe that they are going to reposition the region into the international European market.
Well, I hope so. And Marina was an ambitious project. It would be nice to know that something positive comes of it, because it was very popular with the Spanish as well, and it would be nice.
It worked well. It's just it needs capex, like capital expenditure, in order to reposition. And the former owner didn't know how to. He was like a guru in real estate development, but not in the hotel sector. So now the one who arrived, he's gonna make this happen again, and he's gonna do really well.
Well, congratulations to you for being part of such a very important national project. Here locally, how long has it been since you've established here?
Almost 3 years.
Have you noticed, I mean, Brexit happened quite a few years ago now.
Yeah.
But I noticed that various people have been telling me that the English are actually coming less. Are you finding that there's a more dominant nationality now on the coast? Who's buying the most? Who's asking you, I want to, for looking for hotels and these big investments?
Talking about real estate, I think the British still around here. I mean, maybe there are some less people, but the truth is that the Costa del Sol is totally international location. We have seen a lot of Norwegians and Swedish people arriving to the area, but the truth is the British are always here and always will be here. Maybe now it's getting too expensive, and we are seeing some of them choosing other locations, but I didn't see any step down.
If someone's watching from home and thinking, oh, I'd like to open up a hotel in Spain, would that be the person who should just contact you and say, Jorge?
Please contact me. I mean, I have expert from 20 years ago experience, and also I can put you in contact with the right people, because this is like a boutique in which the things I am not able to do, I get support from others, nice architects, nice town planners, nice lawyers. I'm more in the financial side. That's the truth. I know a lot of town planning and all that, but I prefer to get the best support of the best people, so I can give the best service to the client and give a 360 service.
And similarly, if someone looked to sell a hotel, then they would also contact you, because those same contacts would help you then find them the right buyers.
Yeah, the good thing of hiring me to do this task, to hiring my company, is that I am local, but I have international reach. The same than any other big company. So I will bring you the best buyers, and in a very, very, but very confidential way, which I think is what owners expect, is that they don't want to have their asset all around saying that they are on sale and the price can start going down. So.
And then would you, what are the other services you offer? Do you do valuations if someone just wants to know what their business would be worth? Or?
Yeah, that's something that I do. I am international RICS, Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors. So I follow the British laws in order to do evaluation. An expert in hotel and tourism assets, but I can also do residential and any other asset that any client of the UK need to do for a bank or for a law firm or whatever. I'm able to do it, and my signature is worthy in the UK too.
Well, that is very important and obviously very valuable for many people. What would you say, Jorge, before we finish, that would be your biggest recommendation to anyone buying or selling? What is the biggest mistake you think people make that's unnecessary?
From my perspective, you need someone who can help you. You can sit with this person, in this case me, and you can negotiate the fees, okay? But if you are in other country and you are doing something that you don't know, you should get advice from someone who knows the market, who knows what doors to knock, and who can help you save money at the end, because you charge the money in order that they can save. I have seen clients, they say, hey, shame that we didn't meet before because we didn't have to pay what we paid if I had hired you. That's
People don't do their market research. They don't do their due diligence.
They don't do the due diligence.
They don't do their due diligence.
They don't ask you about if this hotel has a license or not. And what is more important, can I get the license or not? Because they buy thinking that someone, oh, you get the license very easily, and you need someone who tells you it's not going to be so easy to get the license.
Yeah. And even realizing, because as I understand, you have to have like a separate music license, or if you're going to have a live performance. And again, you might buy something thinking, oh, I'm going to do this, and they don't give you a license.
Yeah.
There's so many things you can be caught out on.
You know how many expert buyers have done this here. So
I've met quite a few of them, actually.
Yeah, you know. So.
I see that an average business here is about 18 months, that people think that they can open up a business. What do you think is the biggest mistake that when people launch a new business that they don't take into consideration, apart from market research?
That it takes time to earn money. That's the truth. Even though that I have 20 years work experience, I'm still learning how to get new clients in the area, how to introduce myself in the area. I can be very recognized maybe in Madrid or in Comunidad Valenciana, but still now I'm a junior here, trying to get the clients and give them the expertise that I really have. That's the truth. But the biggest mistake you asked me about that is that, as I said before, you need someone to be the side to you and help you go over this business, which is time.
Well, you can count on us.
Yeah.
Here at RTV Marbella, we've got your support. It's a fabulous speciality to have in our city, particularly because businesses tend to fail on an average of 18 months. And I think people forget that once you build it, they won't just come. You have to take the time for people to get used to you and to realise you're there. They don't just suddenly stop going to their favourite place because you opened up a new one. You know, and you need to advertise, spend a lot of money on marketing, on like decoration. But then if you don't tell people you're there, so there's a lot of things. And also doing, above all, your due diligence. Contact someone like Jorge. And lovely that you're here.
Thank you so much for your time, Nicole.
No, it's nice to have people from big
us.
Companies that have lots of knowledge coming here to share it on a more personal level.
Thank you so much.
And on a more personal price, I bet, too, than the big companies. Jorge, muchísimas gracias. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, hey.
When you think of car or motorbike insurance, think Linea Directa. When you most need your insurance company, Linea Directa are there for you. With tow trucks, courtesy car, mechanics, legal advice, even overnight stay in a hotel if you need it. There's a whole department dedicated to us Brits with people who speak English there to help us. If you're looking for an insurance policy that really takes all your needs into consideration whilst you're driving in Spain, then Linea Directa really is the company for you. Why don't you give them a call? 952 14 78 34 or contact them online.
Zero Heroes, welcome to Urban Chai.
Hey, hey.
They say it's not what you know or who you know, it's who knows you. Well, Natalie Martin knows me, and thanks to that, because she knows Elke Zimmerman, she's joining us on the set. And the reason I'm so pleased to welcome her is because she does something completely different to anyone I've ever interviewed, which is CPR. I don't know what it stands for, but I know what she does. Elke?
Yes,
Elke?
Elke. Elke Zimmerman, who speaks not a word of German and was born in Zambia. So,
Well, there you go. But do you have a German mother, father?
My mother's German, and it's because we grew up in South Africa and my father's British, who refused to speak German because British men don't really do languages.
No, British women don't either normally.
They do now, but they didn't then. So we spoke English, and then we moved here. But
a
yes.
very exotic name, Elke Zimmerman.
It is, very exotic lady.
Should be on the front of cover of Vogue. I mean, it has,
I wish.
also
Yes.
with the looks.
That was the plan.
That was
oh, sweet, thank you. Right back at you. That was the plan. We were just chatting a bit earlier, and I said that was. I went to drama school. I was going to be an actress, and then I became a waitress, as you do, and because you have to try and make money. And then I tried to do. I've tried to follow Bridget Bardot's steps and save the world, save animals, and I ended up just saving animals here in Spain and didn't make a penny, obviously, because I'm into rescuing animals. And suddenly I ended up single and having babies, which led me to first aid. I was alone and giving up on looking for the right man, any man, and I decided to have children through, what is it called, donor.
I think that is just amazing.
Yes.
My good friend in America, both her girls did that and
Did it through
delighted.
just donor,
because
yes.
they weren't finding the right man
No,
and they wanted
or
to be a mother. And I
any
think
man
good, really proud of you. I think it's wonderful.
Thank you.
And it
I
is,
didn't
it's setting an
expect
example.
Twins, but I got twins. They warned me, but at my age, because that's it too, I'm an older mother. And doing it on my own. The older Bridget Jones, even older, you know, and they warned me of twins and I got twins. And then I thought, what happens in case of emergency? You know, and I'm not someone who, I studied literature. I'm academic, but not academic. I hate science. I'm not good at studying, and I didn't want to have to go on any difficult courses or listen to nurses or midwives tell me. I just wanted to know, you know, the bare necessities, and that's why I went into first aid. And that's also why I decided to become an instructor and do these specific courses, because I think what puts people off learning is the time it takes to learn. Most courses are 3 days, and employers and people just don't have time. Someone dies, I'll suddenly get lots of calls, everyone's calling or calling first aid companies. We definitely have to learn first aid. I even have a friend who had a friend whose child nearly drowned, and that was it. I'm doing a course next week. Still didn't do it, can't find the time. And so I developed these courses, these crash courses, excuse the pun, but they are intensive, fast courses, 3-hour courses, still legal, depending on what you're qualifying in, but you'll definitely learn how to save someone whose heart has stopped.
I mean, just having the basics for me has to be better than having no idea whatsoever. I mean, we all
doing it wrong.
see it on the movies.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, and it's that. And then I saw the other day something on social media, and it was like, well, one of these songs they said was one of the most popular songs, and they used Staying Alive! Exactly, because it's exactly the beat to do the pulsing with. And ironically, the Bee Gees Staying Alive is the right beat to do the pulses.
Well done, you know something. I will say, I always teach through humour, because it's the way, it's a very serious topic. And I've done that many courses when I was learning before I became an instructor. And I can remember the ones who kept it a little bit funny, because it's very serious and it's a lot of information. And I think it's even serious students who come in, you know, I'm taking this, a few jokes, they relax and they retain the information.
Yes.
Staying Alive, that song, especially the younger kids who don't even know the song, it's so depressing in schools. They, well, what? I'm like, the Bee Gees? I have to go for, what are the young songs now? I don't know. But when I teach them and say, don't be embarrassed, it's so important, that song, because the exact rhythm you have to push the heart. You can't do CPR a little bit right. It has to be exact, and that's my point to anyone. If you don't know how to do it, do your best, but please know how to do it, because you have to push exactly the right depth and the right rhythm. Too fast, brain damage. Too slow, brain damage. You know, people say, oh, if I die, I die, or it's not going to happen.
But you might live
what about,
as a
you
vegetable.
might live. Please don't save me and be singing the wrong song, because I'm going to come back with half my body not working. It's that important to get the exact rhythm. Well, yeah, but you seem to have known about at least that.
I say, okay, maybe it's just because you know how things happen when you put an energy in a certain way, knowing that you were coming. Maybe it just stuck in my mind when I heard it, because I knew I was going to be meeting you, or maybe it's just at the right moment. This is the right thing to find. We're coming up to the summer. It's something I know of people who have lost family, because they haven't known what ambulance number to ring, which is
call.
112.
First thing I
worst
say,
way.
what number do
in
you
here,
call?
ring 112, and they will put you through to the local police.
And will guide you through
And
what
then
to
also,
do,
in the
yeah.
meanwhile, to have some basic idea of
How to
CPR.
open the airway. People imagine that CPR is just rushing to the heart and pushing down. It's no
What
good.
does CPR stand for?
Cardiopulmonary resuscitation.
Okay.
So cardio is the heart, pulmonary is the lungs, and resuscitation. But just opening the airway, you're halfway there already. I mean, there's no good blowing in someone's mouth and doing the famous mouth-to-mouth if their tongue is slipped down and the airway is closed. I can't stress enough, and drowning, I don't want to, so let me just say drowning first, because you said summer's coming up. Drowning, people will grab someone out of the water. And this has happened. Someone just near where I live, a 2-year-old drowned. And I can say it because I don't know the person, but I know about it. Someone recently drowned in Benavice and luckily was resuscitated for 17 minutes and has lived, and with no brain damage because it was done correctly. But people spend too long trying to get the water out and don't even know that the first 5 breaths is actually what will get some of the water out. You know, I would never have known that. I would have tried the same thing, you know, getting the water out, checking for the pulse, not knowing. Because have you ever tried to check your own pulse? I'm dead, or I can't do it. I do it on my dog. Mm-hmm. We don't check pulse anymore. We check for breathing. We do the head tilt, chin lift. Little simple things which take, if you just want 30 minutes, just go on a YouTube clip. Just learn it. Learn the very basics. But to do the actual CPR, you need to do it for real. Don't do it online. There isn't a single student who hasn't done it on a mannequin of mine and gone, oh, that's harder than I thought it would be. If you're doing CPR and you're doing the rhythm perfectly and you're doing 30 compressions and 2 breaths and da-da-da, but you weren't reaching the heart, what it's like, what's that saying, being a little bit pregnant? You either are or you're not. You can't be doing the right rhythm and not reaching the heart. There's no point. You have to push hard. It's 6 centimeters or 1/3, and unless you've actually had the practice, because who's got a ruler? Who's got a measure?
Yes, you've got to know what it feels like.
You've got to know what it feels like, and you'll never forget.
I mean, this to me sounds like every school, every kindergarten, every hotel, should have
But how
people
many,
who
how many do?
I'm thinking, and I don't want to say none, because I imagine we have some very responsible people in our midst. But if there's any businesses out there who've never thought of this is a good moment,
Until
I think,
it happens,
to contact Elke, because it's such a simple thing. And choking as well. How easy to just swallow wrong and have that something
just
caught.
swallow wrong. It doesn't even have to be that you ate something. You can just swallow wrong. My mum and her partner, I showed them, not only did I show them the choking techniques, everyone goes the Heimlich maneuver. Okay, so you've done the Heimlich maneuver, and I'm glad that you know how to do that. But if it's out, but the breathing has stopped, what are you going to do? Again, we're all used to the word death, but it's the brain damage. Have you ever, and I'm sure a lot of people who are watching this know someone who's had a stroke, ask them, you know, imagine you come back and many women of 40 years old and above suffer from heart attacks. 40,000 women a year in England suffer from 40 die of heart attacks. The ones that live and have received inappropriate CPR and have half their body working purely because of a lack of oxygen. That's the reason, by the way, it's the lack of oxygen. So you're all there mentally, but you just don't work now, half of your body. It's all down to just getting the right technique. It's a simple technique. It's a life-changing technique. But will people take the time to learn it?
Oh,
3
I think so.
hours.
Got crash courses now.
Crash courses.
I love it. It's like crash courses in saving yourself.
I didn't think of it till I got here, actually.
I know, it really is. A crash course in saving
I was calling them the Intenso
It is.
Express.
I think it really is a fabulous idea. How long have you been in Marbella?
Okay,
Or
I've
the
been here
area?
about 20 years, 15 of which I saved every dog in Spain, which we're ending up in my house.
No, it's nice.
And
Got a lot in common with.
I can't take my eyes off your dog, by the way. It's really been lovely meeting you and seeing what we've got in common. And this whole idea of networking is fantastic. But actually doing the CPR when my twins were born the year before, I've been doing it 5-6 years now. But now it's time to take off.
share it.
Yeah, I've been teaching families. I've taught a few schools. But you would be amazed how many restaurants, and I won't name who you are, but there are a lot of restaurants who haven't actually even certified their chefs. you know, against burning and stuff. These companies, they should check their books. They have to legally do these courses.
Yeah.
And I am legally, you know, certified to train you.
Yeah.
And I
think
make it
definitely
easier
is.
by doing the shorter courses as well.
I think
So-
great for schools, really, definitely great for schools. I think every kid, and also just to have that little bit of assurance that you have an idea.
Yeah.
It's like anything when you do self-defense. It's just so if you grabbed for the first time, it's not like the first time someone's being rough with you.
Yeah.
It's just
Wishful
taking away.
Sorry.
If there's any nice men out
There's
there,
any nice men out there, yes.
a
that's
tall
the-
ask. I didn't say
love
that,
you. I
and
did.
it was only
I
a
did.
joke. Lots of lovely men out there. Really
Yes, there are. Just that
fascinating topic. How do people get in touch with you?
I've got a website, I've got an email, I've got a phone number, I'm on Facebook. So what do? Do I give it on air?
It'll all be
in
on
at
the screen
end,
so you can get there, but literally just
But
contact you, get information.
The people I've taught not only said that they had a great time, it was just like when I learned, it was the kind of, wow, I didn't know that. And after that, you're so grateful. Please, I get these calls when it's too late and someone says, I'd like to know in future because I wish I had been there for my... Don't let that happen. Don't let that happen. You know, I have friends who need to learn still.
Can you go to people's houses
Yes.
and people say, let's do a
I do
group
that.
party of
do
playing
that.
with, because I
Exactly.
imagine you come with your blow-up doll kind of thing. Sorry.
Yes, I do that too. How did you know? I come with my mannequins and my machines and everything that's certified. And then if you want the blood, I come with everything. I come to you. I go to the businesses. They can come to me as well. I do the 90-minute courses. I do the three-day courses. I do the 6-hour courses for the nannies and things. But I need to break into the market
Well,
now.
that's a good one, that for nannies, when you've got someone working in your
goodness.
home. And
Has your nanny been certified, or does she? Forget even being certified. If she doesn't want to do the certificate, just get her trained. You know, I'll just train you. You don't have to do the whole thing, but she needs to know at least how to
basics.
open the baby's airway or the dog's airway. Do the CPR for the dogs. I mean, it's such an advanced topic. Forestry, kitchens, diving courses. They've all got CPR, but the basics. Just how to open the airway and do the compressions, please learn. And the AED machine, the automated external defibrillator. Just call it the shock machine. Know how to scream.
that's the one that we see
everywhere yeah.
in places.
But if you scream in La Cañada, the automated external defibrillator, everyone's going to just go, oh, what? Yeah. So just know things like 112. I need the shock machine. Do this. Don't check for the pulse, check for the breathing. And whatever you do, if I can say one thing today to everyone, if you remember nothing else, when you phone 112, the first thing to say about the person you're with, not breathing. Don't start saying things like, well, he's having a heart attack. Not breathing. That means they're out. They're on their way to you in the Marbella traffic while you're hopefully doing the correct CPR, because this is the thing, the traffic, the ambulances, what you can do already at home while they're on their way is life-changing.
Said very jovially on a very serious subject, but it is in the sense of it's nice that we take this in a light way, that we discuss
Yeah.
it, but it really is. And I'm thinking now, I'm a grandparent. I should know. It's just
Yeah.
those things, if they swallow wrong, that you know what to... I mean,
Yeah.
we all heard of the Heimlich. You got the
But,
concept of it, but I've never actually realised where you're meant to be putting your arms.
And the 5 and 5, and also this little suction machines. They're about 14, 15 euros. They're called anti-choking devices. As trainers, we teach you the techniques, but I always say on the side, go to Amazon, buy yourself an anti-choking device. It looks like a toilet plunger. If in doubt, it looks like a toilet. It's 1, 2, 3, it's out. It will save your child. If something is stuck, it's what the ambulance will finally arrive with.
It's just going to suck it out.
It sucks it out, yeah.
Very,
Yeah.
very interesting. Elke, thank you so much. Big thank
Did
you,
we really
Natalie.
end like that? We ended on that
We
note.
do. Suck it out. I'm just suck it out. Very, very interesting. If you would like more information, which I really hope you would, do contact Elke Zimmerman. She's here giving you resuscitation courses and
mouth to mouth
anti-choking
and
courses.
yes.
And I do encourage all the businesses, schools, all the businesses, please do find out and get a course. I think we'll all be grateful.
You are so lovely.
A
Thank
safer
you.
city with Elke.
A safer city with Elke. To all those taller men out there, yes.
That too.
And that too.
And
Thank
that
you
too.
so much
Thank
for having
you so
me.
much.
Thank you.
Linea Directa appreciates just how important our pets are to us, and that's why they brought out one of the most comprehensive insurance policies on the market, from just €39.90 a year. Give them a call on 952 147834 or from the website lineadirecta.com.
Zero Hero, welcome to BEL MARE.
Hey, hey, it's a brand new.
Giro, ¿no? Ok. Eso por ahí. Este por aquí, a ver si sale bien. No, por ahí. Vale, un poquito por ahí. Apple. Y un poquito de agua. ¿Verdad? Ping, ping, ping. Partido. Very good. La manzanita.
Thank you.
A la primera, ¿no?
Mocktails.
Listo.
Zero Hero, welcome to the sister restaurant.
Hey, hey.
Join me now as we go over to the Palacio de Congresos Exhibition Centre in Marbella. The Sur in English newspaper organised a post-Brexit event together with the Marbella Town Hall and the British Embassy. It was lovely to have so many important people in our city giving us an update of what's been going on and what will be going on post-Brexit. And one of those things is not being able to get back into Spain if you've only got your green piece of paper as an NIE instead of your TIE. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Of the Foreigners Department at Marbella. Speakers, ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor for me to extend a warm welcome to this seminar, which will clarify, adapt regarding the new procedures that will govern the movement of travelers between both parties starting this year.
Good morning to everyone in the room and also to those who are watching online. A huge thank you to Sur in English for inviting us along today to speak to you about what we do across our consulates in Spain and also to deliver hopefully a couple of useful messages to our British nationals in the room or friends and family that you have, messages for you to take back to them. I'm going to kind of briefly set out where do we have consulates in Spain and what can we do for British nationals, because it's changed over the years, so depending on when you arrived, we might offer quite a different service to the one we offered at the beginning. I'll then talk a little bit about how you can get in touch with us if you need our help, and I've also got, well, Miriam has helpfully got for me some handouts at the end with our telephone number on and some useful links and things like that, so please do come up at the end if that's helpful to you. I'll then talk about the entry-exit scheme, which has already been mentioned, a little bit about that, and I'm happy to answer questions. I'll talk about the electronic travel authorisation for entry into the UK, mainly just to kind of make clear what the distinction is between those two schemes, because I think there's a little bit of confusion about that. So, In terms of where we have consulates, we have 8 consular teams across Spain. I manage those 8 consular teams and the service that they provide. We have one here in Malaga, which is headed up by Miriam. I don't know if you might want to stand up or wave so everybody knows. Miriam will be speaking to you shortly as well, and giving you a little bit more detail about some of the tips that, that she and the team have put together. So we have our team here in Malaga. We've also got Madrid, Barcelona, Alicante, Palma, Ibiza, Tenerife and Las Palmas. 40 consular staff across Spain that are here to help you out when you need it. In terms of the support we provide, so we spend most of our time providing assistance to British nationals that are either visiting Spain or living here in Spain. And when I say assistance, I mean things like if you have a loved one who unfortunately passes away here in Spain and you're not sure what to do next, you need some support, you need to know where to go and what to do, that is absolutely what our team is here to do. If you have somebody who is involved in a road traffic accident and maybe there's a serious hospitalisation, again, we're here to support. Victims of rape and sexual assault, domestic violence, that's just kind of in general terms. Now, we also deal quite a bit with sort of welfare situations, which is what Miriam will speak to you afterwards, which is where British people who've maybe been living here for some time or visiting find themselves in some kind of situation of destitution, and they need our support to know what's available and how they can get themselves out of that situation. So that's what we spend most of our time doing. But we also do quite a bit of work on the prevention side. So where we have particular incidents or issues are raised with us, we will collaborate with local authorities, local stakeholders, charities, etc., to work together to try to reduce incidents for British people or make the support that they receive after an incident occurs that little bit better. So I'm looking over there, kind of Town Hall of Mijas. We collaborate with them and others across Spain. So that's the prevention. From a crisis perspective, we also do quite a bit of work preparing for crises so that we can support British people, work alongside the Spanish authorities were there to be some kind of crisis situation, whether that's a natural disaster or something along those lines. So they're the key areas that we work on. A lot of you will have heard of the entry-exit scheme. It's due to come into force now in autumn of 2025, although we still don't have an exact date. And you may have heard of it, and it's kind of been pushed back a couple of times, but at the moment the expectation is autumn 2025. That is basically a scheme whereby when non-EU nationals enter into an EU country, for example Spain, so when UK nationals come into Spain, if you are visiting Spain, you will need to enter into the entry-exit scheme system, which essentially means that you'll have to put your name, date of birth, and some biometrics. So we're talking fingerprints and facial capture, okay? This will be mandatory, and everybody entering will need to go and do that if you are visiting. The details will be held for 3 years, so the good news is that once you come in, if you're coming back on your holiday the following year, you don't have to do it every single time you come in. So the data will be held there for 3 years, and the benefit is also that it will, once it's fully implemented, it will do away with wet stamping of passports because it will kind of be done digitally. So that's kind of what's happening, and the UK nationals will need to kind of go through that system. There are some exemptions. So people who are resident in Spain are exempt from going through the EES system, but only those who will have a TIE card. Okay, so you need a biometric card in order to be exempt from the EES system. Okay? If you do not have a biometric card, and we have some residents who still have a kind of green certificate, some of you might, I'm looking to the audience to see if anybody remembers these, but kind of pre-EU exit, we had green certificates, okay? They don't have your photo on it. Some people will have the A4, some people will have the credit card sized. That is still valid within Spain. It is a legal document here, but it will not be proof of residency to enter into Spain to be exempt from EES? Please ask me questions at the end if this is not completely clear. So our kind of call to action, if you like, for British people is if you are one of those people, or you know somebody who has not got a TIE card, they really must go and switch it as soon as they possibly can. I know there were previous issues in terms of appointments in a lot of Spain, but our understanding is that much of that has now been resolved. If that's not the case and you're having difficulties, please let us know, because we are working with the Spanish authorities to make sure that there are enough appointments for people. So let us know if that's not the case, but our understanding is that there are appointments now. So I'm very much urging people to make that switch from the green certificate to the TIE document. If you don't do it, there is a potential that down the line, if you're trying to come back into Spain as a resident, you may be wrongly kind of put into a category of an overstayer. You will then have to launch an appeal process to prove your residency, and it may be that you're denied entry into Spain whilst you're going through that process, so you could actually be returned to the UK, okay? So that's the entry-exit scheme and our plea for people to please switch to the TIE. To avoid difficulties. I will then really quickly talk about the electronic travel authorisation. I was just looking over to check if I'm more or less on time. The electronic travel authorisation, the ETA, is not the same as the EES. It's actually the authorisation that people who do not need visas to enter the UK must now do a kind of online visa waiver is essentially what it is. It's for non-UK passport holders entering the UK, so I'm mainly bringing this up for people to share with either friends, family and others that are non-UK passport holders, that before travelling to the UK now, so our Spanish friends and family for example, will need to get an electronic travel authorisation. It came into force on the 2nd of April, so just a couple of days ago. It will be £10 until the 9th of April, when it will increase to £16. So if you'd like it cheaper, now's the time. It lasts 2 years, okay? And it can be used in this kind of similar way to what I was saying, EES. It can be used as many times as you like for stays of up to a maximum of 6 months in the UK. There are a few exemptions. One is Irish passport holders do not need to get an ETA. Those in transit and travelling on to another country do not need to get it, and those, as I said, who already have a visa, so this is the visa waiver, if you like, and those with UK residency as well do not need to get it. So that is ETA, and I think I will kind of leave it there for now, because hopefully some of our other information will come out during Miriam's talk now.
Illustrate some of the key issues that British people may face in Spain, and some recommendations from our team as well. Hopefully that will help you start thinking about the future as well, and it might give you some ideas to ask questions to the panel later on in the table as well. The consular officers will be able to talk you through what we can, what we cannot do, and what steps they are going to take to progress the case.
Hi everybody, and thank you for coming. I'm the CEO of Castle Rock International Law and Investments, and what I'd like to talk to you today marries in very well with the consular speech that was done before. I've worked in the Costa del Sol as an international financial advisor for 22 years, and over the years one of the biggest problems my clients have come to me with is they're asset rich, they own a big house, no mortgage, over 60, and they can't afford to actually live, and they're living on the poverty line. And until very, very recently, there was nothing like equity release that you see advertised on the television in America and in the UK. We are able to do that now using a panel of investors, as none of the Spanish banks that I'm aware of will do equity release for the over 60s. The equity release would be in a number of different forms. Some decide to keep the property and just withdraw money from it. That's a lifetime loan and nothing has to be repaid back on it until they die, and then their relatives have 12 months to settle the estate. Other clients with no relatives would just like to sell their property and have what's called a usufruct for life, which means they have the right to live there for the whole of their lives, and if it's a couple, both have a usufruct. That would give them the maximum amount of money to withdraw from their property. We'd then be able to invest that money with them, for them, to give them an income. So they still get to live in the lovely property they live in now, and they get a large sum of money and a regular income from the investments.
I feel a little bit like an alien surrounded by native speaker, but I'll do my best. Thanks a lot to Studying English for organizing this event. I am the law firm partner, Martn-Alvarez. This law firm has 350 members, 20 offices in Spain, in Portugal, in Turkey. We cover almost everything regarding the expat. So now that situation, the consequences of that. People.
3 offices, Rein, Costa and Nerca, and we're currently at the notary buying a 4th one in Estepona. So maybe not 4 members. We also have 2 offices in
Hi Rachel, congratulations, really lovely. Well done, nice turnout.
Hi Nicole, thank you. Yes, we've had another Studying English Forum, a very special event, this time with the British Consular Services, and we've aimed this morning's event at UK nationals in Spain, and hopefully we've solved quite a lot of their doubts and problems and discussed the other issues that people have, especially now after the UK has left.
I found a lot of actually new information, which I was surprised. Curious about the green NIE now needing the TIE, but the reasons. I know there was a lot of emphasis on it, but I didn't quite get the significance of it.
That you might not get back into Spain.
Yeah, that was interesting.
TIE. Whether it's right, whether it's wrong, whatever, but putting your fist on the table when you're at the border isn't going to help.
Isn't going to hack it. As a lot of interesting information.
Don't miss Studying English next Friday, and where there'll be a full report of the event. Thank you very much, Nicole.
Zero Heroes, welcome to Gusto e Fantasia.
Linea Directa has come up with a squatter policy for just €24 a year. You don't have to have your home insurance with them. This is a completely separate matter to protect you from squatters. For more information, call 952 147834 or their website, lineadirecta.com.
Zero Hero, welcome to Canada! Yay!
Zero Hero, welcome here at the Guacho Banus.
Zero Hero,
welcome to Picu Banus.
Zero Hero, welcome to Sunday.
Zero Hero, welcome to Hotel Marbella.
It's amazing how we meet people through other people, and that's what Marbella is all about. It's networking. Jorge said it. We talk it with Elke, everybody, in the sense of we meet people, through them we meet other people, and hopefully like-minded ones. I was contacted by my next guest because she'd seen that we're celebrating the United Nationalities of Marbella Summit on the 20th of May, and this year it's about the elderly in our community. And this lovely young lady has just seen a fruition on a project that was started a long time ago through their family, one of the most established Spanish families in Spain, to launch Marbella's very first old age centre. Yeah. That's right, isn't that, Maria?
That's right.
I mean, it's hard to believe we don't have an old age home in Marbella, but we don't. But there's going to be one thanks to your family.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me here. Yes, actually, we do have, but the thing is, we don't know. That's why I want to give a word, about those families, including mine. I'm talking about the Alvarez family. We are here since the 17th century. And making long story short, what happened was my grand-grandfather, he had this land in El Trapiche. I think everybody heard about Trapiche del Prado in Marbella. So then his son, Martin-Alvarez, the brother of my grandmother, he had a wish. He couldn't have children, and then he decided to give his land in El Trapiche for the population, for the town hall in Marbella with one wish. The condition was to build the first residential for elder people in Marbella to be built. So that was like more than 25 years ago. And you can imagine how complicated are things, and politically in the government. So finally, thanks to our current town hall mayor, María-Ángeles Muñoz, and the whole team, this is going to become true now.
I'm so delighted for you.
This is just incredible. I wish that my dad, who passed away also years ago, he could see this. It was a wish. So finally, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be like more than 200 residentials for people, but also because the whole complex had like two historical buildings. It was the sugar fabric, yeah, and also my family did a lot of things with wine. So it's going to be like kind of museum about the history of everything, which is, I think, very important because Marbella, I'm missing to have such a museum with a history, with everything. In the end, it's our identity,
I agree with you.
It's so beautiful not to lose that.
I had the privilege of coming to Marbella in 1965 as a baby. And I have family, the Navarrete family, and I know that their family have a lot of land, and the Super Sol in Marbella was built on their land. And to see these families from de toda la vida, really Marbella belonged to, what, 4 or 5 families?
Yeah, more or less.
And to see now the progress, it was really lovely to meet one of them.
Yeah, in the end, I was joking with the mayor, like, hey, we should have like a ping or something like we are original from here, But more important is like to do something for the people of Marbella. And then, it's like in the 21st century, finally, apart from the wish of my family, to have the first residential public for other people. I think it's really beautiful and it's going to come true. So needed.
So needed. I mean, our event is normally the United Nationalities in October, November, and we've brought it forward to May because there's such an urgency of elderly people who can't afford to live on their own, who can't look after themselves, and perhaps don't have the financial resources.
Of course.
There's a lot of issues in this respect.
And I think this could be like an example, and I wish that somebody else, like we have to do things together, private and public, because it's a real need. And I think that Marbella deserves something like this, We are also for all this beautiful international land. And indeed, we do have a lot of international people that they are not anymore like international on holidays. They live here. They are part of us, and that's why it's important that we promote that kind of, residentials, public, and events.
So I imagine your family must be feeling finally very relieved as well as very proud.
It's been really, really tough, and we understand that it's not easy. But, to become one wish, like actually, I think it's from 1992, 1993, when he said that. To become a reality now, it looks like still, I'm shocked, but I was just getting all the documentation 2 weeks ago, and to see the planning, the residential, the museum, everything, it's really, really you know, very, very happy.
When is it expected to come to fruition?
We're supposed to have with the family a private tour. I suppose maybe in 3 weeks, something like that, to have an idea. But then the final date, I understand, you know, it's not easy. Maybe 4 months, 5 months, whatever it needs to be taken.
Is it still is it already under construction?
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
So-
I mean, it's a wonderful achievement. It's lovely to know that a legacy of the original, traditional, the real Marbellas.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a privilege to meet you, Maria, and I'm so delighted
Thank you so much.
and honoured that you read the article and said, hey, I'm doing something on this, because it is. If we join our forces together, then hopefully we can all be a lot more effective for a lot more people.
Indeed, and there is always so many things we can do, you know, there is no, it's always action, you know, and now is a moment of action. And yeah, the passion of Spanish or Andalusian, and then together with all the international community and people from Marbella.
Is there anything we can do to help you? Is there any...
I'm just, you know, making a voice because, again, we are a beautiful place, Marbella, but we do have a lot of population, again, international, and what we call elderly. It's really the best time in life, you know, and we have so much to provide activities, and actually, so far, nothing is done, you know, and that's why I want to give a voice for all these old people, that they are not old again, you know. It's a new generation.
Illusion and
Illusion, passion, activities, history.
Dignity, I think, is a big part of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I love the idea that you're incorporating the historic aspects of the land as well.
Indeed, it's something that, especially in the international community, I moved, you know, when I came back, I was living abroad, and I came back to La Marina area in Algeria, and actually I grounded the first international residential association. We are more than 3,000 international people, this kind of age, and so much to do, you know. They're asking all the time, Maria, tell me stories about Marbella. We don't even have a museum about the history of Marbella, which I think it should be imperative, because again, we are international. Since I remember, of course, from the 50s, it's international community, but we should never lose our identity, you know. This is what gives the difference, and the passion and everything.
I support that 100%. I've had the pleasure of knowing the old Marbella, and I hope we don't lose it all. No. And thanks to people like you, that won't happen. So,
thanks to you also to give a voice.
Yes, thank you. And speak loud and clear.
Yes,
let it sound out, and I look forward to seeing a lot more of you. And I'm sure Maria will be at our United Nationalities of Marbella Summit on the 20th of May. This year, it's not like a luncheon and chitty-chatty things, although we don't do chitty-chatty. We do suicide prevention and a lot of serious subjects. However, this year, the objective is to unite together the people who organise associations, charities, support infrastructures for the elderly, such as the facilities that Maria Martin has been helping to set up for our local community. If you have anything to do with that line or can offer advice, input, please do join us. Just €35 for the luncheon at the Harbour. The event is free. 11:30 till 3:30 at the Harbour Restaurant in Marbella. 20th of May, United Nationalities of Marbella, summing it up. Thank you so much, Maria.
Thank you for having me.
Hasta la próxima.
Hasta la próxima. It's a deal.
It's a deal. You can watch recordings of the programme from the RTV Marbella.tv website. You can also go to my website, NicoleKing.es, because you have a link there to the RTV website and my programmes, also to my column Marbella Moments in the Euro Weekly News, and a link to our Zero Hero website with an ever-increasing list of places that offer free soft drinks for the designated driver. Plus, we're doing this special lottery in the Zero Hero venues that if you spend over €20 in any of the participating venues, you can win yourself some amazing prizes, free drinks, free meals, a little sailing trip perhaps to see the dolphins, or a cocktail on a super yacht in Banus, to name just a few of the prizes that are going. You can also get a link to our Good Morning Spain programme, which is on every Monday, and our United Nationalities of Marbella, don't forget, on the 20th of May. That's it for now. Take care of yourselves, be nice to each other, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon for more of what's going on in Marbella right now.
You feel it's gonna go